Good afternoon, and welcome everyone to the IceHQ ice rink in Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia, on Warranjoy Woiwurrung, traditional land for the Australian Women Ice Hockey League Round 1, Game 2 between the Melbourne Ducks and the Sydney Sirens here at IceHQ. Nicer weather outside today, but no one cares because we've got a roof, and we're going to bring the heat to you today for this second game between these two teams. It's the second game, as I said, for the 25-26 season as the teams compete for the Joan McCown Trophy. I'm Carl Brewer, and joining me this afternoon is once again Anton Goss. Now, yesterday, the Ducks had a bit of a hard introduction to what it's like to play in the AWIHL for real. They have had 2 seasons of exhibition games, which were drawn out over quite a long time, but yesterday was their first real one, and they found out what a full-strength Sydney Sirens team is like, and the Sirens out-muscled and out-hustled the Ducks well and truly with a 9-0 lead. Edney with a hat-trick, which she could have had more if she'd been greedy with the puck, but she played selflessly and created a lot of opportunities for her Sirens teammates. McConey with 2 as well. The Thompson for the Sirens dominated through the neutral zone and was absolutely a force and showed us what we were expecting to see from her through the game in particular, with a goal at the end with 44 seconds to go, which just gave us some reward for that effort that she carried out. Other players of note for the Sirens was particularly impressed. Bella Maher did a great job of shutting down any attacks that did come through. One great one where Lucy Parrington had a great chance to run the net, and she was just taken out of it very nicely indeed by Bella Maher. Well, for the Ducks, we know it, and it's pretty obvious. They are obviously the new birds in the pond, but they're new to it, and they did have those 2 drawn-out exhibition games, and it may have lulled them a little bit into a bit of a false sense of, hey, you know what, we're here in the AW and we belong. It's like, well, not yet. We've got to earn your fierceness, earn your place with being fierce and being physical, and that didn't happen yesterday. So hopefully they'll pick up a bit. They've had 24 hours to think about it, and they have a good night's rest and get themselves up and running for this game. This is the start of their time. It's not something where they can sit back and say, hey, here we are, we're AW players. It's like, well, now is your chance to actually show us what you can do and bring that ferocity that they need, which they didn't have yesterday. They've got nice stuff, but they've got all the kit, but you've got to actually earn it, and they've got to play the game to the level. And they got shown what that was like yesterday. The Sirens came out hard and hot and gave them a bit of a spanking. So with a bit of luck, the Ducks will have picked up from that one. As you say, Gossie, in combat, no battle plan survives first contact with the enemy, and that's what they had. I was chatting yesterday with Steve Belich after the game, and he was saying that the Ducks didn't really stick to their game plan, and there's a reason for that. When you're under pressure, bad stuff happens, and the Sirens applied enormous pressure. They're great on the forecheck, and the Ducks just lost their way a bit, certainly throughout the game, and they weren't physical enough, and the Sirens were on an absolute mission, and they brought pressure by the truckload, which made a huge difference. For the Ducks, however, Janelle Carson in net, she was pretty thoroughly worked over. 43 shots on her, and she did have a great save percentage, but you can't get them all. She did make some spectacular saves, and it would have been a lot worse. But another player of note for the Ducks who was superb was Bri Johnson. She's, I think, only 17 years old, and she was superb too, and fierce and resolute, and that's what she needed to be. So hopefully we'll see a bit more from her. And also Kelly Nelson and Caden Hollier were great, generating a lot of movement and chances. And the combination of Parrington and Grukovic showed some occasional glimpses of what they can be with a bit more time and a bit more space and a bit more familiarity with the pace of the game at this level. Of course, neither Parrington or Grukovic are strangers to this level of hockey, but getting it together with a team that's essentially still pretty new. They've done a lot of training, but there's no substitute for being match hardened, and that's what they've got to get. Gossie, what do you reckon?
Look, I think, Carl, everything you said is valid, but the beauty about this schedule in the AW is that you don't have to wait long to come back and do it all again. So the way it works, with the travel, you play 2 games over a weekend, and in a way, you can look at it slightly differently as each weekend is a mini series, right?
So they've lost, absolutely.
They've lost the first one. They're up against Sydney for the second one. You think about those extra 2 points, you're able to win tonight. You're able to stay even on that ladder. And we've seen that already so far. If you look at some of the out-of-town scoreboard, the Melbourne Ice over in Adelaide, they won those 2 games. So they won the first one 7-4 yesterday, and then this afternoon they won the second one 6-2. Inferno as well, up 6-5 over the Lightning, and then obviously here it was the 9-0 for the Ducks. So of course everything that happened yesterday has happened, but they got to get back on the horse, for lack of a better term, and treat this like a new game. You know who you need to shut down.
Yep.
You got to shut down that top line, predominantly that duo of Edney and Guttormson, who did wonders. They were, every time they were on the ice, creating grade A scoring opportunities, but also just trying to figure out a way to keep the puck off the stick of the Sydney Sirens import, Lang. Kelsey, amazing job last night, was able to shut down lots of offense. She ended up with 4 apples. Really someone to drive that offense for the Sydney Sirens. And you noticed when Guttormson, Edney, Lang, when they're all on the ice together, the Ducks just weren't able to get any pressure. So start early, try to get an early lead. I don't think they tested Lakari enough yesterday in order to get on the score sheet. Apart from that late save that Lakari made on Ebony Rama, the Ducks didn't really have any offense of much.
Absolutely. The other thing the Ducks, I think they need to do is towards the end of that game yesterday, they did start to lengthen their shifts, and as a result, they just weren't able to back check hard enough when they desperately needed to as well. So they need to apply the same pressure to the Sirens that the Sirens applied to them if they can. So we all know that humans under pressure do dumb things, and if the Ducks can make the Sirens do some dumb stuff as well and take advantage of it, then who knows, they might just be able to get themselves a point or 2 in this game. The other thing they desperately need to do, Gossie, is they need to stay out of the penalty box.
100%.
They were in. They did 6 penalties yesterday, and that's 12 minutes, or actually ended up being less than 12 minutes. But 12 minutes of penalty time, you just can't afford to do that against a team. Now, when you're under defensive pressure, you're going to get more penalties. It's just the nature of it. You're going to. You have to do stuff. You have to trip, and you have to hook, and you have to foul a little bit to an extent. And sometimes you try not to get caught. But the Ducks were under so much sustained pressure, they gave away a lot of undisciplined penalties as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think those are the ones you want to mix out. I mean, a couple of the body contact, I get it. You're trying to get close. The one that happened right in front of us, clear body contact. You made the decision to stuff it out. And that late one where the Ducks were nearly going to go even strength, and there was the unsportsmanlike penalty. You want to wave that one out of the game for sure.
You don't want that to happen.
if you're gonna come back, because
just silly stuff.
This Sydney team 5-on-5 already are dominating you.
Yeah.
When it gets on the power play, you can see the Ducks can barely get out of the zone.
What Edney was doing a great job of sitting in Ovechkin's office and just loading up that cannon. And early on, when they had a couple of early penalties, she was just sitting there and she was going for tip-ins all the time. And she probably could have scored from there if she'd wanted to. The net was open. She was being generous, which was a very good team spirit of her. But later on, she decided to score a few, and as we saw, she did get that wonderful hat trick.
Yeah. So we are going to have a change.
You can't give her that space.
We're going to have a change of netminders as well tonight for the Sydney Sirens. Down on the left of your screen will be Nicoya Wellard, number 88, and here for the Ducks, her first action in AWIHL career for Olivia Gargano.
I believe Olivia's just been selected in the Australian team as well, if I'm not mistaken. So a great honour for her, and she'll get a chance. But obviously as one of the juniors, she'll get a chance today at the highest level you can play in this country, and we're looking forward to getting underway very shortly. We'll have a national anthem shortly. I think we're going to have the anthem on the Sunday. I don't know that we do.
So if you're...
No, I don't think we do today.
If you're looking at each bench and the two teams just having a little conversation prior, what do you think number one game plan is that you need to get out on the ice here for the Ducks?
Well, if you're a Duck, you've got to be thinking we've got to keep our intensity up. No matter what happens, you've got to match the intensity and put pressure on the Sirens to take away their time and space, and see if you can encourage them to make mistakes as well.
It's interesting to see this. So a slight lineup change. We've got Grakovic playing on the back end here with Hollier, and it's the big movements of the magnets, as they say, make a change in the scoreline. So here the Siren are starting off with the puck. Guttormson's going to dump that in. The Melbourne import Hollier able to collect that and send it over to Gukovic.
Gukovic did struggle a little bit yesterday. Lost an edge on a few occasions, just probably adapting to the ice here.
She is more familiar in a defensive role, so we'll see if that helps. And a great shot there by Herink. Tipped out of the air, and Edney picks that up on the near side corner. Watched by Gukovic. Looking, cycles it back, just misses Guttormson. Hollier chips that up on the wall. Not able to get it to Green as the Sydney Sirens cycle the puck down low. Guttormson now centers it to Edney. She had 4 points last night, including a hat trick. And Hollier able to send it forward, and Green finally gets that out of the ice, but straight to a Sirens player, and the pressure will continue as the Sirens go for a change.
Ducks just getting a couple of players off the ice now. They've been stuck in their own zone for over a minute. Finally, they managed to get it out with a bit of space.
Hollier got it over to Rama, who enters the zone, takes a shot, blocking arm save there by Welland, her first of the game. Twisting and turning is the Canadian import there, Kelsey Lang, and the Siren get it out into the neutral zone. Ducks forecheck, knocks the stick off Rowe.
Nice play there by Lucy Parrington to get in deep and apply that pressure.
Parrington fell down, and picking up the puck there, the Sirens, and they're able to get it into the neutral zone, but an interception by Carson is going to try to send that through, and the Sirens just intercepted that on the wrong side of the blue line, and that'll go for a whistle and offside.
Parrington was a little bit slow to get back up. They got tangled up just behind the goal line. The other end, you wouldn't have seen that on the camera feed because the action was at the other end. But Parrington was pinned down underneath one of the Sirens players. They couldn't catch who it was, and they took a good 10 or 15 seconds to get up, but doesn't appear as though anyone was hurt.
So if you were hoping to change the shot count from yesterday as a Ducks fan, they do lead the shot count for the first time in the AW season, 1-0 here early in the first.
Got to take your points where you can.
Puck kept in on the point, and that's Johnson just keeping it away from Brunt, but the Siren gets support and eventually get that out into the neutral zone. Brunt loses it to Nelson, intercepted here by York, who chips that in. Gallagher is watched by Brunt, and she rims that up the wall over for Yates. Looked to center that and just missing it with the Sirens, and that's going to spring Nelson down the other way. Nelson stops up. She's pinned by a Siren and gets a shot on, and a save there by Welland as she covers up as the Ducks get another opportunity through the import.
Good play there too by Yates to get herself into the slot. She was being marked, but had a good position to set up a screen and try and create a little bit of trouble for the Sirens goaltender there in Wellard, but Wellard in the end saw it coming and made it safe. We get the first defensive zone face-off now for the Sirens.
So we're seeing this lineup match where we've got the Cashin-Newmark line up against the Edney and Guttormson line, and here comes Guttormson with speed over the line, winds, nice poke check there by Newman with a great back check, and that's going to spring the Ducks the other way. It's on the stick of Hollier. She sends that forward, mishandled by Mayer, picked up by Newmark, centered but intercepted by Herink, and picked up by Mayer as the Sirens exit the zone. Mayer over to Guttormson, who winds, takes a shot and misses far side.
So a much more even first couple of minutes than we've seen after that first minute where it was all Sirens. Guttormson just waiting on the point of the blue line for a long stretch pass, gets it, and she's looking to change.
Not able to get it deep though, as it was intercepted by Cameron. Had the puck knocked off her stick, off the skate of Guttormson, and Green finally gets it out of the zone. Guttormson sends it back to her defenseman there, and Mayer, who looked to stretch Guttormson. A lucky bounce finds Herink, and she'll look to enter into the Duck zone.
Ebony Rama there with a beautiful little pick on that cross-ice movement.
Schmitz loses the puck. There's a battle there in front of the Sirens bench, and finally it's Rama who gets it into the Siren zone, but only momentarily. Stolen here by Carson. Twisting, turning, loses the puck, and coming back was Newmark. That was a great opportunity there for the Ducks veteran.
It was a beautiful read there by Carson. She does manipulate time and space incredibly well.
Here's Newark. Takes it wide, centers, and that hit a leg and went wide. Parrington, the captain now, gets the puck over to Rama. She had the best scoring opportunity yesterday. Sends that forward. Carson loses that. And Newmark comes back to pick it up.
Rama's been on the ice for a long time now. She goes over to get the change she needed. Prosick now going in to put some forward-checking pressure onto the Sirens as they whip it around the back of the net. Prosick with a great first 30 seconds of her shift. Slams the brakes on the half boards.
Here's Lang, great skater and brilliant vision. Nice pass over across the ice to McConey, who had 2 goals yesterday. Johnson not able to keep that away, but then great second effort to steal the puck, and now that's going to break the Ducks. There's 3 of them wide, but a great poke check by the Sirens import, able to block that opportunity. Nelson picked that in the neutral zone. All she could do was dump that down to the length of the ice. That forces the Ducks to touch up.
This is where the Siren will be dangerous. They've got a lot of roomers on that breakout because of the offside.
Intercepted there by Hollier. Puck stolen, though, by Caruso. And stretching the other way is the Ducks. Puck over the blue line. It's Prosick. She's going to shovel that down behind the net.
Prosick's now also been out for a long time. She needs to keep her shift short. She got caught out yesterday with that.
Hollier and Grakovic just switch sides now. Hollier head up, being watched here by McConey. Curls away. She'll go D to D over to Grakovic. Grakovic sent that down the length of the ice and missed everyone. And as Arps gets back for the Siren, the Ducks will be facing their first icing of the game.
Grakovic there was looking for a pass up to Bron Cashin. It was just a millimetre or 2 past the end of her stick. It's a good piece of vision. She saw it. Just not quite able to make the completion. So the first defensive zone face-off now for the Ducks. They move quickly from the face-off line as they battle with the face-off dot.
Newman tied up her centerman, and Grakovic comes up to pick up the loose puck. She swings out the left side of the net and shifts that forward. It ramps up the stick of Ma, but a great stick check there was able to keep Newman from springing forward, and the Siren will be out here through Caruso. Puck sent deep. Hollier goes over to Grakovic, who sends it up to Cashin, missing everyone, but that's going to go down the length of the ice and miss the net, and we will have icing waved off.
An interesting call. It looked like it was going to be one, but no, the referee said no.
Centered, Newman shot, and a save off the helmet there of Welland. Brunt for the Sirens stops up. She had Caruso going to the net, swarmed by 3 Ducks, and able to get it down to her teammate behind the net. Payne activates, looking to center that to Brunt, but great job there by Ryland to break that opportunity.
And just a lesson there.
Payne.
Brunt goes to get a nice change. Beautiful
back
timing.
to Herink. Over to Edney. Fresh off the bench. Takes a shot, and Gargano makes her first save of the game.
Some good smart play there. Brunt was floating around in the slot, realised there was an opportunity for change and raced off to get one, which brought Edney straight into the fray. And she created that great scoring opportunity.
You got to be nervous if you're a goaltender and you're staring down Sarah Edney after she got a hat trick yesterday. Guttormson ties up the Duck defender. Rama now will get this on the near side wall and exit that in the neutral zone, picked up by the captain. She gets it over to Carson, who will skate in. She looked to center that. It was blocked by Herink, and the puck rims around into the near side corner. First to it were the Sirens, but it was stolen by Rama, not able to get it past by Mayer, who just shovels it into the neutral zone as the Ducks look to regroup and get back on the offense. Gallagher chips it up to Johnson for the Ducks, who rims it back behind the net. Great forecheck there by Guttormson. Got it back to Herink, who takes that into the corner, shields it away from Lucy Parrington, comes back the way she came, but had it knocked off her stick by Gallagher. Carson not able to get it past Edney, who activates, winds, takes a shot, a little knuckler, but not able to beat Gargano, who made a great pad save with the right leg.
Yeah, she shot that 5-hole nicely, needed to too. That puck had eyes.
Payne chipped it forward, was looking for Guttormson, who will battle in there with Gallagher. Puck squirts out, it just off the stick of Edney. Carson now will shovel it behind for the captain. The Ducks will look to exit through Johnson.
Johnson there with a brave little buying of time. She's looking up ice for Parrington and finds her.
Captain now here for the Ducks, winds, takes the little soft shot on net, making a Goaltender Wellard to make the save.
So Pennington fired that cannon in. She knew she needed a change, so she just flung it on the net, gave herself a chance to get off and get some fresh legs on.
Yates dumps it in and looking to get some offensive pressure. It's stolen, walking out there. It's taken by Newmark. Newmark, who will chip that forward just out of the reach of McConey, and it goes down the length of the ice with Hollier first back there for the Ducks.
So with 10 minutes into the first period, the Ducks with 4 shots on the net as a scorer sees it. The Sirens with the 2, but they were pretty good ones. But Gargano was up to the challenge there, so certainly from that one earlier from Edney, who got a nice one fired in and out. But a good start for the Ducks. They're on the front foot and they're applying some pressure.
Big face-off here. The Ducks with the 2 imports on the point. If they could get some sustained pressure, could get a cannon in, but it's instead stolen by Schmitz. Schmitz skates in, nearly leaves the puck behind, but is forced aside. Newmark looking to center that. It goes all the way through the slot and eventually picked up there by Nelson, and the Ducks are out. Nelson wasn't able to corral that one, and first back to it will be Lang. She's watched by Prosick and able to find Newmark, who gives it right back to Lang with speed through the neutral zone, sends it cross ice. Paige Cameron there for the Ducks. Rowe being watched. The Ducks, Nelson nearly tried to steal that one, but had no stick, and the puck just slid easily there for Wellard to cover.
A great shift there by Nelson. She started that in the neutral zone, sorry, deep in the defensive zone, and managed to get the puck up into the Sirens end and put some good pressure on them two times during that shift. So a pretty good start so far for the Ducks.
Early on so far, the changes to the lineup, bringing Grakovic back to her defensive position, seems to be working as the score still 0-0 and the Ducks up 5-2 in the shot count. Puck's behind the net. It's Payne now skating with speed into the neutral zone. Watched there by Newman, and she just shovels that deep for Cameron. The Ducks not able to get it past Brunt, but it's now picked up by Green, and she will exit the zone with a pass through to Cashin. Cashin stops up, looked to just chip that for Green, wasn't able to connect, but back is Cameron, and she'll pass that forward and look to start the attack here for the Ducks. Caruso skating in, not able to get that off Cameron. It was Arps pinning the puck on the point, and it comes out here for Green. She makes one extra move at the blue line and takes that one offside, and as she collided with Samantha Payne, she wasn't happy, but it doesn't look like there'll be any call on the play.
It's Emily Rama, who's just caught a smidge offside, trying to go with the rush as there's some movement backwards and forwards over the blue line, which created that little offside. But good inventive play so far through that one.
Yeah, great move there by Menda, but it's that extra move at the blue line that always ends up creating a bit of offside and negated that scoring opportunity.
Yeah, one step too many.
So here's Carson and Guttormson. You can see standing next to us just how tall Guttormson is, the big body and great skating speed here as she sends that forward. Johnston had the puck, her pocket picked by Edney. Puck comes back to Mayer, a little soft shot intercepted there by Parrington. It hit the back skate of Rama, and that's going to keep the puck in the offensive zone here for the Siren.
Unfortunately, she lost sight of it. It was just down at her feet.
Edney behind the net, centered. Guttormson over to Payne. The puck's loose, and Rama able to shovel that off the wall, and it does get out into the neutral zone as Herink is forced to regroup in her own zone for the Siren.
8.5 minutes to play
Here she
in the
comes,
first.
twisting and turning, gets it over to Edney. Edney winds, shots, deflects off the stick of Gallagher and pushed aside into the corner by Gargano.
This is where the Ducks need to get that discipline on their changes in the second half of this period. They're going to start getting tired.
So we've just passed the midway point, 12 minutes into the first period. The score still 0-0 here in Game 2 of the Ducks season against the Siren. Newmark shovels out behind the net. Guttormson elects to go in front. Stolen there by Stringer. Will recycle that over to Prosick. The assistant captain here for the Ducks will look to exit the zone, but mishandles it. Newmark had Guttormson in front of the net, but wasn't able to corral that and forced her to go back. Rowe on the point. Prosick chips it forward, not able to get it out as a streaking Nelson was looking for a pass. Nelson intercepts that one. Nice move. Will now enter the offensive zone, but only momentarily, as that was poke checked off her stick by the Siren defender.
Stringer had to pinch up there to pick that one up. She was lucky. She did have help there in Nelson going back to cover for her.
Grikovic shoveled that forward. Sirens intercept that through Newmark. Pinned here just on the wall. Comes to Nelson. Great poke check by Rowe. And the Siren just shovel that forward. Forced to tag up. It's McConey now who enters the zone. Looked to center it. Intercepted by Newmark and stolen by Schmitz. Schmitz curls away from the Ducks defender. Passes it through to McConey. And Grikovic comes and steals the puck.
Good forechecking pressure by the Siren there in keeping Grikovic under a lot of pressure, unable to clear the puck out of the zone. They're stuck behind the net now.
McConey centers that, stick handling, back to McConey, backhands it, and there was Green to keep that away as the Sirens not able to connect. Cashin in for the Ducks on the offensive zone, takes it on the backhand, curls, centers it, Green shoots, and a great block there by Lang as the Ducks had their best opportunity of the afternoon.
Smart play there. Caitlin Hollier managed to come in. She could see the danger behind her. She had
here's
to make
Green
a pick.
coming in, stolen there. And the Ducks push back. Caruso winds, takes a shot, bounces off the glove there at Gagano, and that's going to allow the Sirens to tie that up in the corner as Cameron watching her from the Ducks. Puck back to the point. Pass over to Ma, who takes a shot, deflection, puck's loose, shot, scores! A shot from Ma, bounced off some bodies, and who else but the goal scorer? And it looks like it was Emily Brunt getting her first goal of the evening.
You could just see Ma had just a little bit too much room. The Ducks are sitting back a smidge from her. And you could see that one unfolding a few seconds beforehand. She was going to get enough time to fling it across the front. It was a high shot, but it got a deflection. And then if you're there to swoop on the rebounds, you get those dirty goals. And the first one to the Sirens from 5 shots, and then they score shots on the net even, but the Sirens now with the one that matters.
So Brunt, back-to-back games with a goal. She had a power play goal yesterday, and adds her second of the season here in the first period. Here for the Ducks as they look to build some momentum back after going down 1-0. Puck's on the stick of York here for the Siren. Walks in, tried to center it. It was stopped by Parrington. She's got a bit of space, but a great back check there by Brunt stops the Ducks captain from exiting the zone.
And Brunt just got there first and beat Parrington to it.
Johnson curled back into Caruso, who stopped her there. York ran into the official, and Parrington is just trying to keep it away from York, who ties up the captain and takes her down. Puck's loose, though, and Briar Johnson will pick that one up and look to exit the zone.
Briar had a bit more room in front of her than I think she might have realised there.
The Siren go D to D. Herring goes cross ice. Chipped forward by Brunt, who is looking to go for a change, and gets that forward for Payne. Grikovic curls away from the forechecker. Centered that one up to Yates, but it's kept in nicely by Gatormson as the forecheck continues here for the Siren. Edney picks up the loose puck, look to center it there for Gatormson. She ties up Grikovic, gets it on the backhand, and now will look to make a centering pass up here for Herring. Herring on the point, takes a shot on the pad there of Gagano, who makes a great save. Comes back to Gatormson, walks out, centers. Yates loses it. Mayer shot blocked by a defender. Gatormson with the loose puck centers it again. It goes cross ice, and Yates not able to exit the zone as Mayer shovels that deep. Great save, Gargano. Back in the point, shoots and scores! Payne piles it on after pressure by the Siren as they go up 2-0 here late in the first period.
And Gargano made the first save, but it was a big, juicy rebound. And not enough Ducks back there to clean it up on that occasion, but plenty of Sirens. And as a result, the goal siren does ring. And that Sirens to 2 from 10. Referee's just
so
waiting
Samantha
on the new puck.
Payne, her first goal of the season. puts the Siren up 2-0, and the Ducks now in a familiar place.
Well, they've certainly been playing a much better period than we saw from them yesterday in terms of being competitive. Just some cracks starting to open up in them now, which is the intensity. They've got to maintain it. And that's the hard thing when you're not used to the speed.
So Newmark shovels that deep. Nothing you can do there if you're Gargano. Plenty of pressure. It's just wave after wave here by the Siren. As you mentioned, the Ducks have looked better. Some scoring opportunities, but yet to find the back of the net. Puck deep in the Sirens zone. Green walks out of the corner. Gets that back. Stolen, though, by the Siren. A great poke check by Cameron is going to force the Ducks into the offensive zone. McConey curls away from the forechecker Cameron. Gets it over there to Rowe, who sends it forward to Lang. She goes cross ice for Newmark. Lang activates off the point. Newmark runs into Cameron, stands up, gets it there, and Hollier now breaks out, and it's 2-on-2. Hollier and Mendham. Hollier winds, shot, misses the net, and she peels off and leaves Green on her own.
Hollier was just in time. She needed to get that change. She'd been out for a long shift. It was the right option.
Newmark for the Sirens over the blue line. Winds, takes a shot high over the net.
It's Gallagher there who managed to just shut down the lane and take the direct line away from the goal.
Arps off the point, takes a slap shot, and that misses wide, glove side. Caruso fresh off the bench, shovels that deep, but Gallagher was there and able to get it up to Rama, who just holds it up on the wall. Ma backhands that. Playing a little bit of keep away here as the Sirens keep the forecheck on. It's Caruso with a nice little toe drag, centering pass. Great stick there by Gargano. Puck's loose, and she pounces on that one as she's seen enough with 2 loose pucks already gone past her in similar opportunities.
You don't want to leave the puck bubbling around in that area directly in front of the goal. And in that occasion, Gargano did exactly the right thing in diving forward and grabbing hold of it. The Ducks had possibly lost sight of where it was.
You can see that on the CCM All-Out replay. Great active stick by Gargano, as she seems to be the only person who knows which was the right side of the face-off.
She was the only one who had eyes on it, that's for sure. 1 minute and 37 seconds to go in the first. 2 goals the lead to the Sirens. Ducks yet to score.
And here it is with the import, Kukovic. She sent that up for Nelson. Nelson shovels that on, kicked aside by Wellard. Arps shovels that up on the wall. It's kept in by the Ducks. And Nelson now in the near side corner. She's watched by 2 Sirens. She'll cycle it back down for Prosic, who centers that, looking for her teammate in the slot, and it's kept in by Kukovic. So some good sustained pressure, but now it's the other way. It's a 2-on-1 for the Siren. Caruso going to the net. Arps couldn't find her. And it bobbles right on as Kukovic mishandled that, but Gargano was able to get the oven mitten, negate the scoring opportunity. Just
enough time there for her to sort that one out. It was a good opportunity there for the Siren. Had a 2-on-1. And the defender for the Ducks had gone to the puck carrier. And there was that player skating right down the middle, down the Royal Road, but they couldn't get it across.
So last minute of play, the Sydney Sirens throw the big line over the boards, and it's kept in here with Guttormson in the near side corner, watched there by Hollier. She curls away, looking for an open teammate. Edney now activates, instead tries to skate it out herself, but has the puck stolen off her stick by Hollier. Puck on the point for Herring, who slaps that wide. It'll be picked up by the Sirens captain, Edney, who gets it down to Guttormson. She walks off, looked to center it, stolen by Green, kept in by the Siren. Edney winds, passes, gets it back from Guttormson, looks to center that, a kick save there by Gargano, comes out to the loose puck, and Cashin able to get it forward to Green. Great back check by Guttormson, negates that opportunity, and now Ryland activates, but not enough as the buzzer goes, and the score ends 2-0 here after 1. Shots 12-6 in favor of the Sirens.
The goals through that period to York and Payne for the Sirens. Later in the period, certainly the first 10 minutes of that period, after the initial 30 or 40 seconds when the Sirens had the Ducks pinned in their defensive zone for quite a long time, was pretty even. For a little while there, the Ducks had more shots on the net than the Siren did, but the Sirens have managed to pick it up in the latter part of that period and bring themselves up to a 2-goal lead with 12 shots on the net. We'll be taking a brief break now and back with you at the resumption of the second period.
It's a gift. And it's a thief. It heals. It teaches. And it can be on your side. It can even fly. We can try to get ahead of it. But it marches on. Time. It can be measured in eras and accomplishments and historical milestones. CCM measures time by its impact. We are the past. We are the future. CCM, we are hockey.
To truly focus in this game, you have to block everything else out and embrace the familiar. At CCM, the Ripcord Trigger 9 Pro is designed for a quick release because this game can change in an instant. CCM, feel more.
With the JetSpeed FT8 Pro skates, speed comes from the right balance of technology, comfort, and determination, and a personal drive to continually outdo yourself. We are untouchable. Our eFlex 7 goalie equipment is designed so you can be quick and reactive, because all it takes is a split second for their highlight to become yours.
Saved by Demko.
We are stealing the show.
The CCM FTW skate is made for athletes. It is specially built for women, by women, so while it's designed for all women's feet, it's also tailor-made for you. CCM, we are hockey.
Leaders may be born, but breaking records comes from the quickest release. The Ripcord Trigger 10 Pro provides effortless loading for a stealthy shot, perfect if you want to outdo yourself this year. We are goal scorers.
Did you know there are 218,952 female hockey players in the world? They all have their own strengths, their own ambitions, their own styles, and they all need their equipment to fit their way. No two are exactly alike. That's why CCM designs and develops equipment for each one of them. Because they all have their own feel for the game. CCM. Feel more.
In minor midget, I switched to CCM, and ever since then, it was one of the best decisions I made.
Innovation takes more than a light touch. It takes hard work. With CCM's revolutionary technology, the Vision Stick is designed for easier loading and a lightning-quick release, so your game shines. CCM, we are hockey.
Power isn't a force from above. Power is made. CCM designs for power. That's why the Tax XF Pro Stick is such a powerful and accurate shot. CCM, feel more. Ability comes from strength. Strength comes from confidence. Confidence comes from preparation. Prepare yourself with Tax XF Pro Protective. CCM, feel more.
The helmet's been fantastic. I think first and foremost from just like whether it's with the skate or your glove or any type of equipment, just the comfort of putting it on and just the way it feels, and getting that specialization with the specifics on it, doing some of the measurements beforehand, and really getting that comfort and fit, and obviously level of protection dialed in, and you notice that instantly right away. And obviously I had a traumatic incident involving my head and an injury this playoffs, and you know, I feel very fortunate to be where I am today, and nothing really serious came out of it other than the actual incident, and I'd like to think that the helmet was a big part of helping me being able to come out of it and being where I am and getting ready for next season.
Ritual and result. At CCM, the JetSpeed FT7 Pro is designed to emphasize puck feel and versatility, so you can feel at home, anywhere. CCM, feel more.
Welcome back to IceHQ, where we'll be resuming the game here between the Melbourne Ducks and the Sydney Sirens. Game 2 of round 1 of the Australian Women's Ice Hockey League here at IceHQ. It is the second game for the Ducks ever in this competition, and we've just seen a pretty interesting first period. The first 30 to 50 seconds of it was totally dominated by the Sirens, who had the Ducks pinned in their defensive end, but they managed to survive that initial onslaught, and throughout the first two-thirds of that period, it was a really close, even tussle. And you could be forgiven for thinking that the Ducks were in the lead, but they certainly gave themselves a pretty good chance with some good shots on the net. But then the Sydney Sirens brought a little bit more to the game, and Payne and York managed to get a couple. One from a loose shot A big juicy rebound was put home, and the other one from a bit of a puck scramble as well. So just gritty, hard-working goals for the Sirens, but it did give them a 2-goal lead at the end of the first from their 6 shots on the net. We're about to get underway with the second.
So face-off won here by the Ducks, and it's Hollier who'll corral that and get it over to Grikovic, who sends that into the neutral zone. Rama shovels that deep. It misses everyone going down the length of the ice, but icing is waved off. Carson on the forecheck being watched by Rowe. Looked to center that, but it was knocked by Newmark. Schmitz knocks it off for teammate Stick. It goes to Rama, who tried to shovel that forward, and a great defensive play by Lang broke that one up.
And that came because of a little bit of fancy footwork by Lucy Parrington, who got in the way of the cross-ice pass out of D. Just broke it up.
Grikovic sends that over to Johnson. Rama just waited for that, and that allowed Sydney to pounce on it and move forward, and Norman Yan calls that for the offside.
This is something that the Ducks will have to get a little bit better of. They can't sit there and wait for the puck. If it's coming to you, you've got to go and get it. You can't sit on your heels and wait for it to come. It's certainly, if you do that, the Sirens will be all over you like a rash, and they have been so far throughout this game. So the Ducks, if they can just fix that up a little bit, work on that through the period.
Herink chips that forward to Katormson. Herink has played extremely well so far this afternoon for the Siren. Prosick picks it up on the half wall. She's being chased there by Katormson. Shovels it forward, and a great skate by Nelson's going to negate the icing. Nelson, pinned by Herink, gets it over to Prosick, who walks out of the corner, gets it back to Johnson, and it just bounces under her stick, and the chase is on now. Payne and Johnson. Johnson able to get there and go D to Gallagher.
Johnson had to grit her teeth and get back for that one.
Nelson on the forward, takes a shot, saved there by Wellard, as Nelson gets a shot after a great shift. Payne watched there by Prosick. Puck chips up on the wall. Gatormson comes out with it, but only momentarily as Hollier broke that up. Prosick and Mayer battle now. It's Newman not able to get it away from the Sydney captain, who sends it over to Gatormson, who's pinned up there by Ryland.
Edney read that one nicely. She could see the puck was going to bobble out to the back of the contest and stole it.
Hollier cycles it back to Ryland, who looks to center that, intercepted by Caruso, but eventually cleared down the length of the ice by the Ducks.
And no ice to call on that one, interestingly.
Ma chips it over to Arps, who sent that forward, missed Caruso, and again icing waved off. Hollier chips it over. Cashin will get there for the Ducks. Pinned by the Siren. It'll come out to the point for Ma, who will try to shovel that on net, but a deflection off the stick of the Ducks' Cashin. So the Ducks, with a great scoring opportunity earlier by Nelson, look a bit more bright to start this period, but could use to keep those legs moving, because that's what's creating opportunities. And now it's one-on-one the captain. Parrington tried to go through the skates of Ma, but she closed her legs and was able to stop that opportunity.
Yeah, great piece of defensive play there. Parrington was just trying to put the puck where the player wasn't, but Ma managed to shut the gate very nicely indeed.
Stringer to Grikovic, who chips that up off the wall to Parrington. She's got Rama, but she's stopped there by Arps, and McConey now will pick it up behind the net for the Siren.
That's a level of physicality that the Ducks aren't bringing to the game yet.
Brunt makes a nice move and creates some space. In with speed, Brunt, stakes, shoots, save there by Gargano as she stops Brunt. Puck on the far side, half wall here. It's picked up eventually by the Ducks, and Parrington takes it behind the net. Grikovic was looking to find Carson, but it was intercepted there by Rowe, who shovels that in. Stringer over to Rama, who tries to go cross ice, and intercepted there by Newmark. Sirens offside as McConey tags up. This will give the Ducks some time to exit the zone. She finds the captain, Parrington. Over for Willison Allen. Willison Allen centers it to Rama. Great poke check. Comes back to Nelson. Takes the shot and blocked there by Rowe. Rama first to it, looking to center it. It was intercepted by Newmark. And here comes McConey. The Sirens into the offensive zone. It bounces off the skate of Schmitz. And Rowe forced to keep that away from Prosick, who does a great job on the forecheck. Nelson will be first onto the puck, being watched by Lang. Lang pins up Nelson. And Newmark able to collect it and look to go cross ice for Payne, and it's intercepted there by Johnson. Prosick tags up, and that's going to initiate the forecheck here for the Ducks. Willison, Allen, and Prosick not able to break that, and Payne goes cross ice to Guttormson. 1-on-2, Guttormson shoots, and saved there by Gargano. Big at the top of the crease and made no mistake covering up.
So not a bad start to the second there for the Ducks, with a couple of good shots on the net. Nice, some risky cross-ice plays there being played by the Sirens too. They want to be careful. The Pixel Allen very nearly managed to intercept that cross-ice. It's not a high probability shot when you're trying to get the puck out of the zone.
Was looking to walk out of the back, and the Ducks able to clear now through Newman. Shovels that forward to Cashin. Herring blocks her, but not able to get the puck out of the zone. Herring picks it up now and twists and turns away from 3 Ducks. Chips it up to Guttormson, who knocks that down and finds Edney. Edney in on Hollier, who goes across to Guttormson, who takes a shot and misses the net. Good defensive play there by Hollier, who now is forced to watch Guttormson. She twists and turns, gets it back to Edney, who looks for the pass and found the pinch there of Mayer, but it just bounced off her stick and she wasn't able to get a shot on. Edney into the offensive zone. Stolen here by the Ducks. It's Hollier who will curl away from Caruso. Rims it up for Green, who centers that across, intercepted by Mayer. Not able to hold the line, so she'll regroup into her own zone. She's got Payne and not able to shovel that past Ryland. Cameron up to Carson. Stopped on the line by Payne, and Arps for the Siren gets it deep. The Ducks hemmed in here, not able to clear the zone, but they do now through their captain. It's Parrington who winds, takes a shot, and misses the net. Parrington looking to keep it in the point, but the Siren get it out through Brunt. She activates with speed in on Grakovic. Nice move, knocked down, and the puck cleared, and it's a clean play, much to the dismay of the Sirens bench.
They thought that might have been an interference call, but you are allowed to contest the puck.
Grakovic now, who made that great defensive play, corrals it and sends it across to Cameron, who gets it up to Parrington, who fans on that, but gets enough on it to go and make the change. Great shift there by the Ducks captain, as the Ducks able to get some pressure. Now the Sirens come in through York, over to Newmark, who chips that forward in on net, and Gargano gets down and covers up, and the puck does come loose, but just enough time for a whistle.
Both teams starting to just get a bit flashy and risque with their passes out of the net, out of the defensive zone. A lot of cross-ice stuff. It's starting to get intercepted as well by both teams. That's creating those breakaway opportunities.
So face-off one here. The Ducks make a nice move through Prosick. Gets it up to Yates, who just shovels that past Lang. The forecheck's on the Canadian, though, for the Sirens. Able to shovel that into the corner. Puck kept in by Nelson, who shovels that deep, only to get it back to Lang. Lang clears that down the length of the ice. The chase is on, and Gallagher gets there first and beats out Schmitz, and we'll have a face-off here in the Sirens defensive zone. For those of you watching, little out-of-town scoreboard, the Lightning and Inferno playing up in Brisbane are tied 1-1, 4 minutes into the first period. Nelson wins the face-off for the Ducks, and it's stolen, though, by the Siren. It's Rowe who gets it over to Newmark, who shoveled that forward, blocked by Nelson. Yates comes in. Still, the battle on the wall. The puck does come loose, back to the point. Hollier shovels that deep. Nelson walks out of the corner, backhands it. It goes across the crease, but no one there to shovel that home.
Yates was in position, just couldn't quite get a stick onto it.
Payne keeps it away from Nelson, gets it to Newmark, who just got out of the reach there of Schmitz. Lang activates on the point. Gets it to Newmark, who walks off the wall. sends it back down here for Lang, goes behind the net on the backhand, walks in front, winds, and just leaves the puck back as she was looking to roof that top shelf.
She's given us a little bit too much room getting around the back of the net. She was allowed to get into a pretty good, decent shooting position.
Hollier sent that forward just out of the reach of her Ducks teammate, and it will go down the length of the ice and will be an icing as the Ducks will not be allowed to change.
You can see there that Kelly Nelson was pretty keen to get off and get some fresh legs, so this will be an opportunity for the Sirens to pour on some pressure if they can keep them pinned in. There's a few tired Ducks on the ice at the moment. They wanted that change, and they weren't going to get it.
So face off here, Nelson up against Edney. Nelson ties up her opponent, but it's picked up by Guttormson, who centers it for Edney. This line has had plenty of pressure, but not able to put it on a bounce, and they shoot, they score!
And that was
a loose puck in net. Gargano was able to get a pad to it, but it just trickled back. You'll see this on the CCM all-out replay. It was a poke check there by Payne, who was able to bounce on the loose puck.
Hopefully we'll get the shot from the top on that one as well, which will give us a slightly better perspective. It didn't look like there was much on it, but the tired legs from the Ducks, they'd been out there for a while. Here we'll set it on the top down, and it just kind of dribbled in. And I think Gargano will be pretty disappointed in that. I think she thought she had it, but sometimes that's the way it goes.
So Payne with her second goal of the season and second goal of the game, and the Sirens add to their lead, now up 3-0. Here's Grakovic. Gets it back only as far as Mayer. We're nearing the halfway period, the halfway mark of this game. 10 minutes into the second. The Ducks still yet to score. Green shoveled that. It's stolen by Herring. Knocked up onto the near wall, sent cross ice, picked up by Guttormson, who spins around and uses her speed to enter the zone. Gets it across to Edney, who walks in, shoots, and a save there by Gargano. Guttormson picks up the loose puck, gets it down to Edney, centered for Payne, shoots, and a save there by Gargano, standing tall to block Payne from getting her hat trick.
That'll make her feel a lot better after that previous little goal that she would have been disappointed in, making that quality save there. She'll be very pleased with that one. As the goldfish brain of the goaltender, you've got to forget the stuff that happened before and focus on what's coming next. It's not always easy to do, but I think she did that well, and she's been quite resolute so far. Olivia Gargano, it is her first game for the Ducks.
Face off one, Arps with a shot and a blocking arm save there by Gargano. Caruso back to Arps, sends it deep, picked up there, York, back, one-timer save there by Gargano. Payne for the Ducks, or Parrington, sorry, walks out of the corner, gets it over to Carson, experienced veteran, shovels that across ice, and the captain Parrington shovels in there on Arps. Parrington looking to center it to Rama, who does get it to Carson, but
She's just stuck on her backhand. She couldn't quite get onto that one.
Not able to get it exactly. So the Sirens get the puck back deep into the Ducks zone. This line for the Ducks has had some scoring opportunities. Rama, Parrington, and Carson. And with Rama shoveling that deep, it's going to be an icing, and they'll be forced to defend a face-off here in the defensive zone.
So no change again there for the Ducks. I'm sure most of you watching this will be aware of the rule, but if you ice the puck, you're not allowed to get a change, which is something that people who play in a lot of recreational and beer leagues don't have enforced, but certainly here at AWIHL level, it is absolutely the case.
Gallagher sends it over there for Johnson. We'll chip that up, looking for Rama. Great poke check by Lang, allows Newmark to send it the other way, but the Ducks intercept it and they get in on the attack. Carson goes for a change. Rama will forecheck here on Lang and allow her captain to also change on the bench. Lang will skate it out herself. Chip it forward, Ryland. Not able to get it there past Lang. Lang twisting, turning, shooting. Blocking arm save by Gargano. I must admit, Gargano's been great tonight so far. Very positional. Not much she could do on some of the goals.
It's obviously from where we're standing, it looks like playing her in D is is a wise call by Jeremy Muir, who is coaching the Ducks once more. But the one who's been again impressive for the Siren remains Gatormson, who just owns that neutral zone.
Puck sent high, down the length of the ice. Rowe picks it up. Lang intercepts it, comes through the neutral zone. Winds, curls. And kicked away there by Ryland. Ducks pinning the Sirens there in the far side corner. Ryland rips it up on the wall. It's not able to be collected by Yates, so Ryland will try the other way over to Prosick. Hollier, head up. Looking for Prosick. Tied up there by Newmark, and the puck will get out by Nelson, and icing waved off as Mayer touched the puck. Willison here in on the Sirens. McConey gets it up to Edney. She comes in with speed. Gatormson goes to the net. Edney winds, shoots, and a save there by Gargano.
There's force wide there. Good defensive work by the Ducks to take the angle away.
Hollier chipped that forward. It's Willison Allen who just pushed that forward for Newman for the Ducks. Newman twisting, stolen by Edney. And Gatormson now gallops through the neutral zone. Pushes that just loose off her stick, centers it, and it goes off the leg of Gargano. Back to Herring, who takes a shot, and another kick save and a beauty there by Gargano. Puck's behind the net. Green takes a tumble, and there will be a penalty, and it is going to go the way of the Ducks. Paige Cameron.
Who's not very happy about what happened. We're not 100% sure here. It happened in a blind corner for us as well, but she'll be
2 minutes for interference.
So that gives the Siren the first power play of the game. And we saw how effective it was last time when Edney would sit in Ovechkin's office and basically just wait to chance to fire the cannon. She was unselfish on the first couple of penalties yesterday. I suspect this game she'll be a little bit less so if they can set it up. They win the face-off.
Comes back here, comes to Lang, who winds, takes a shot, and that goes wide. Newmark looking to keep it in, but it does come out into the neutral zone, and Newman forces her to pass, and Edney just has to wait up for her team to tag up. Gatormson just delaying, looking for Lang, walks down Main Street, takes a shot, and rings it right off the crossbar, but it stays in play. Edney back to Lang, she'll wind up, give it back to Edney, who ramps that off the stick of Green, coming back. Edney shoots and had some daylight, but not able to connect. So the Siren, again, great offensive pressure. This power play looking dangerous in game number 2. Edney shovels that deep. First to it will be Hollier. Intercepted there. Newmark. Gets it back to McConey.
Holly really needed to clear that one out of the zone.
Gatormson curls away from Hollier. She'll shovel that over to Edney, who gets it back to Lang. Winds, takes a shot, and misses the net.
There's a lot of traffic. It was a good option, but it wasn't on target.
Edney on the half wall, back to Lang. Now on the near side. Winds, goes back, looking for Edney, but intercepted there by Grakovic, who comes in shorthanded. She winds, takes a shot off the stick there of Newmark, and she'll peel off potentially for a change.
Ducks get the change they needed. Fresh legs out on the penalty kill.
Edney blocked up by Parrington. It's corralled though by Lang, and she had that poked off her stick and just over the line, and we'll have a face-off here in the neutral zone.
Just 11 seconds to go on the penalty on Paige Cameron. She'll be out very shortly. It's been a pretty good kill so far for the Ducks. The Sirens have had a couple of opportunities, but haven't really managed to overly trouble her.
Yeah, they kept
in the net.
They kept that box looking good. Lang obviously off the crossbar, but they just kept everything to the outside. Puck on the stick of Arps, and now Cameron will be entering into the zone. We're back to 5-on-5. The Sirens 0 for 1 on the power play. Arps tried to keep that in. It did bounce into the neutral zone. Caruso for the Sirens gets it over to Ma, who sends it back to Arps. In now with speed, watched by Parrington. Gallagher Misses on the poke check, and Arps now will cycle that deep. Puck pinned up in the corner. Comes out for Parrington. And she's turned back by the Siren.
The Ducks still seem to be caught in penalty kill mode, although the penalty's well over. They've got to establish some attack. Sirens doing a great job of pinning them in.
Brunt having a great game, had that intercepted, and Carson now will get that out into the neutral zone, trying that cross-ice pass, which got hit by Brunt. I must admit, Carl, there's been a few times where the Ducks just looking to force that cross-ice, and it keeps getting picked off by the Siren. I think they should elect maybe to keep it on the near side, just shovel it up on the outside and break up some of these interceptions. Play the high percentage play. Johnson pushes that forward. Intercepted, and Arp sends that deep, although from the wrong side of center, but waved off by the linesman. Much to the dismay of one of the fans standing behind the net.
Good work on the forecheck there by the Siren. The Ducks just a little bit casual.
Play there, and Guttormson not able to get a shot on.
That's the intensity difference that the Ducks need to come to terms with.
Another interception here by the Siren import. Gets it to the point, not able to be kept in by Mayer. She's got time and space, and will go D to D over to Herrick, who does a nice job to kick it up to her stick. Yates on the forecheck, not able to break that up. It does come to the line, but kept in by the Ducks, although only momentarily as Edney got it out. Herrick, chased by Prosick, gets it over to Payne. She's got 2 goals tonight. Shovels it forward, and here's Edney. A 2-on-1. Edney and Guttormson. Edney shot, saved by Gargano, and able to steer that into the corner as Guttormson was looking for a rebound. Guttormson pinned up by Ryland. Edney comes in, walks out, takes a shot, saved Gargano. Rebound, Gargano down, another shot, and they score. Gargano made 2 or 3 saves, but Sarah Edney would not be denied as she gets her first goal of the game, 4th goal of the season.
We'll catch this one on the top down as well. It's just messy play in front of the net. The Siren doing a great job of flooding that area with numbers. The Ducks were a little bit slow on the back check there and to let that happen in the first place. And then there's just that nice juicy puck, and it bounces around 2-3 times, and eventually it's a deflection off the, looks like the back of the pad there of Gargano that got it in.
Goal scorer's goal. And Edney now up to 4 goals in the season.
And Newman keeping it in there on the blue line. Got a lucky stick to it.
Can't fault Gargano there. She made 3 first saves, and the last one, Sarah Edney just pounced on it before the Ducks defender. So here the Siren come again in the offensive zone. Drop pass stolen here by Green. She's all alone though, so she'll do well just to get the puck deep, but had it knocked off her stick by Newmark. Newmark now into the offensive zone, shovels it over to McConey, who looked to center it. Great job though there by Grakovic to break that up. The Ducks not able to get it past Lang. It's intercepted by Cashin, and kept in there with a great play by Green. Cashin tried to shovel it. It blocked off the defender. A bouncing puck. It's now there. Newman tried to backhand it, but wasn't able to connect with that.
And Newman got a nice little backhand there. It might have just been enough to take Willard by surprise, but it wasn't quite.
So after a first period with 6 shots, the Ducks only able to muster 2 so far here late. But a shot pass there, and Rama not able to connect as Johnston activated off the point. So 41 seconds here left for the Ducks if they're going to put anything back before the end of the period.
And it's going to be a penalty. The referee's got a hand up for it. It looks like it's going to be on
the Siren. And it will be going to the assistant captain, Kelsey Lang, as she'll be going for 2 minutes for body checking.
There was some pretty rigorous play there deep in the corner. So with 31 seconds to play in the period, the Ducks with their first power play of the game. They had created a couple of good opportunities in the power play yesterday. Certainly they had one which nearly snuck under the pad of Licardi. And they turned this one into a score.
Captain of Parrington out with the 3 imports. Hollier, Nelson. It'll come back to Grakovic. She takes a clapper, and we've known that she has a booming slap shot, and she connected there. Hollier back to Grkovic. He's got Parrington. Grkovic back to Hollier. The Kiwi back to the Hungarian international. Back to the Kiwi. Hollier takes a shot looking for a deflection. It just missed Nelson. Nelson back to Parrington. 8 seconds remaining. Grkovic now. Last chance Saloon takes a shot and a great block there by Newmark. One last chance. Wine shoots and just goes wide as the Ducks look dangerous, but not able to find the back of the net on the power play.
A little bit of contention there, just in the slot too. So I think it might have been Arps having a few words there with Rama, just as they escorted away from each other by the referees keeping a close eye on it. There's always going to be a bit of push and shove in that area in front of the net, especially at this point in the game. Emotions always get a bit high, but if you party in the slot, expect a rowdy reception, and that's certainly what was happening. So always a bit of push and shove, but nothing out of order. The referee's not awarding any penalties for that one. The Ducks will be starting the third with about 90 seconds, or 1 minute and 29 seconds, I should say, of the penalty on Kelsey Lang for that body check. We will be back with you for the start of the third in around about 8 minutes.
It's a gift. And it's a thief. It heals. It teaches. And it can be on your side. It can even fly. We can try to get ahead of it. But it marches on. Time. It can be measured in eras and accomplishments and historical milestones. CCM measures time by its impact. We are the past. We are the future. CCM, we are hockey.
To truly focus in this game, you have to block everything else out and embrace the familiar. At CCM, the Ribcord Trigger 9 Pro is designed for a quick release because this game can change in an instant. CCM, feel more.
With the JetSpeed FT8 Pro skates, speed comes from the right balance of technology, comfort, and determination, and a personal drive to continually outdo yourself. We are untouchable. Our eFlex 7 goalie equipment is designed so you can be quick and reactive, because all it takes is a split second for their highlight to become yours.
Saved by Demko.
We are stealing the show.
The CCM FTW skate is made for athletes. It is specially built for women, by women, so while it's designed for all women's feet, it's also tailor-made for you. CCM, we are hockey.
Leaders may be born, but breaking records comes from the quickest release. The Ribcore Trigger 10 Pro provides effortless loading for a stealthy shot, perfect if you want to outdo yourself this year. We are goal scorers.
Did you know there are 218,952 female hockey players in the world? They all have their own strengths, their own ambitions, their own styles, and they all need their equipment to fit their way. No two are exactly alike. That's why CCM designs and develops equipment for each one of them. Because they all have their own feel for the game. CCM. Feel more.
In minor midget, I switched to CCM, and ever since then, it was the best decision I made.
Innovation takes more than a light touch. It takes hard work. With CCM's revolutionary technology, the Vision Stick is designed for easier loading and a lightning-quick release, so your game shines. CCM, we are hockey.
Power isn't a force from above. Power is made. CCM designs for power. That's why the Tax XF Pro Stick is such a powerful and accurate shot. CCM, feel more. Ability comes from strength. Strength comes from confidence. Confidence comes from preparation. Prepare yourself with Tax XF Pro Protective. CCM, feel more.
The helmet's been fantastic. I think first and foremost from just like whether it's with the skate or your glove or any type of equipment, just the comfort of putting it on and just the way it feels, and getting that specialization with the specifics on it, doing some of the measurements beforehand, and really getting that comfort and fit, and obviously level of protection dialed in, and you notice that instantly right away. And obviously I had a traumatic incident involving my head and an injury this playoffs, and I feel very fortunate to be where I am today, and nothing really serious came out of it other than the actual incident, and I'd like to think that the helmet was a big part of helping me being able to come out of it and being where I am and getting ready for next season.
Ritual and result. At CCM, the JetSpeed FT7 Pro is designed to emphasize puck feel and versatility, so you can feel at home, anywhere. CCM, feel more.
Welcome back to IceHQ for the third period of this clash between the Melbourne Ducks and the Sydney Sirens. The first period saw the Sirens take a 2-0 lead, and the second period they doubled that. It's now 4-1, but they will be starting the period on a penalty kill. The Ducks with the advantage of an extra player for 1 minute and 29 seconds, as Kelsey Lang will be sitting to for a body check, which occurred late in the second period, obvious enough by looking at the time. Pretty good period for the Sirens, the second one. The Ducks did create a few opportunities. One thing that they're going to need to get on top of in order to see if they can get one back this period is just match that intensity again of the Sydney Sirens. It's been a couple of occasions when Ducks players have been caught waiting for the puck instead of going and getting it. You just can't afford to do that at this level. You've got to move quickly if the puck's coming towards you. If you sit on your heels and wait for it, I can tell you one thing for free, one of those white jerseys are going to come and take it off you. And we've seen that happen on a number of occasions. So if the Ducks can get on top of that and just match that level of intensity and keep the puck out of the area in front of the net, just by trying to avoid doing silly stuff like passing out a cross ice out of D and those sorts of things, then they're going to find they'll be more competitive. And can they get a goal in the third? If they do, I think they'll light up the arena. Gossy, you've got something you want to say?
Yeah, I was going to say it's a cliche for a reason, right? Keeping the legs moving.
Yep.
I think if the Ducks are going to win, they've got a bigger bench. Keep those legs moving. Keep the intensity. Hopefully they can bring some of that offense that they had on that power play. You could see Grakovic had a couple grade A opportunities using the clapper from the point. She seems to be pumped up with the team there. And I just want to give some big props up to Gargano. This game could be a lot bigger lead for the Sirens if she hasn't made some big saves. Already 24 for the evening, and we're only through 2 periods.
She's done pretty well indeed. It's her first game at this level for Olivia at all. So all of the other Ducks goalies have played in those exhibition games over the last couple of years, but this is Gargano's first chance.
Here on the power play, Parrington wins the face-off against Edney, who has 6 points so far this season, who ties the league lead with a couple other players that from the cross-time team there in Godfrey and Julian, who have 6 points in 2 games over in Adelaide. Parrington here knocks it past Mayer, gets it in the offensive zone. Edney knocks the puck off her stick. Grakovic activates off the point, curls back now, has her head up, just sends a little speculative shot, and that was intercepted there by Arps and sent down the length of the ice.
Like she was trying to chip it in there to get it to Hoyer, but not quite able to get past the wall of white.
So just under a minute remaining here on the power play. It's the captain, Parrington, here for the Ducks. Gets it over to Hollier, who enters the zone. Stops up. Watched there by Mayer. Takes it behind the net. Stolen eventually by Mayer, and she shot that into the shins of Carson. Hollier now gets it back to the point. Shot there by Grakovic, steered aside by Wellard, and the Siren not able to get it out with a great block there by Grakovic on the point. Parrington, head up, gets it back to Hollier, who sends it across over for Carson. Watched by the Siren, 10 seconds remaining here on the power play. Nelson, back to the point. Grakovic with a shot and a save there by Wellard. Hollier gets the rebound. Lang enters the zone. Penalty kill is 100% here for the Siren. Still with the pressure, though, are the Ducks as Parrington keeps that in. Arps does eventually get it out, but only as far as Grakovic. She's watched by Edney, who knocked her down. There's going to be another penalty for the Siren, and Edney smiles as she thinks differently.
And I think she knows exactly what she did. It happened right smack bang in front of us. She skated directly into the back of Grakovic and just pushed her over. And yeah, that's a pretty automatic foul.
So she'll be going for 2 or less for tripping. And the Ducks, who look dangerous on the power play, are going to get another opportunity, although after quite a lot of pressure, they'll be going out with power play 2. So Newman will be out here with Rama, Gallagher, and Johnson, as well as Green. Guttormson got there first. Johnson not able to keep it in, so the Ducks will be forced to tag up. Johnson away from Newmark, intercepted by Guttormson, who sends the Ducks back into their zone. Back-to-back power plays here to start the third period for the upstart Ducks. Newmark short-handed, keeps that away from Gallagher. Pinned up, taken behind that, centered, and it went off the skate out in front. Gargano was down and makes 2 saves, and the Ducks finally get it out to the point as Herrick activates. The Sirens short-handed with pressure here. Herrick pinned up and skating out with it now is Johnson. It's a 3-on-2. Johnson walks the line. That pushes her teammates offside, and the Ducks.
Newman was just caught offside there. I think she was maybe unaware of the blue line. She just couldn't quite see where it was. But this does allow the Ducks to get their second line on now. Watch for Grakovic. If they can get her in and fire that cannon, maybe they can get a good deflection off it.
So this is the power play one that would look very dangerous. Grakovic gets it, makes a move, but watched nicely by Newmark. She'll enter the zone with speed, in on Lang, takes it to the corner. Still with it is Grakovic. She sends it back to Nelson, who gets it back to Grakovic, over to Hollier, over to Nelson.
Nelson was well positioned, just couldn't quite get onto it.
Back to Grakovic, over to Hollier, back to Grakovic. Wines, slap pass, over to Parrington, shot! Save there by Wellard. Parrington again trying to stuff it deep, the leg is down, and Wellard able to cover up, and there will be a whistle and a face-off to the right of the Sirens netminder.
Grakovic there, when she gets that puck high up, it's everyone knows she's got a pretty powerful shot on her. Siren doing a pretty good job there of making sure that wasn't going to get any really good time to aim it up and fire it. But we've got 26 seconds to go on the penalty there on Sarah Edney. And she'll come in behind the play, so the Ducks will need to be aware of that.
Nelson was tied up there, but Parrington came in and got it back to Hollier. We'll send it back down to the captain. It was just stick checked by Arps momentarily. Back to Hollier. Back to Parrington. They play catch. It comes back to the Kiwi International. Sends it over to Grakovic, who one-times it in a block there, but Guttormson in a great dive there by Grakovic keeps the puck in the offensive zone for the Ducks. Grakovic down to Carson. Teams back to even strength. Grakovic shot on and steered aside there by Wellard. You can definitely say Jeremy Muir has found his power play one, as these five ladies for the Ducks have another great offensive spell here with the player advantage. Nelson back to 5-on-5, comes in, takes a shot, blocking arm save, rebound, and another save there by Wellard. It's loose. Back to Gallagher, who takes a shot, blocking arm save, loose again, and collected here by York as the Sirens come out now through Caruso. She winds, takes a shot, blocking up, glove save by Gargano, and that bounced over the net.
It's a risky one there for both goaltenders at either end being stretched.
And here's Prosick chipping it forward. She'll chase it in. Ma will look to get there for us, but a great burst of speed by Prosick as she wins the battle. But had it stolen off her stick, and now the Sirens come out through York. She's watched by Grakovic. Caruso just forced to go back as York was offside. Mayer now in the offensive zone, rubbed out by Johnston, centered that, and it was intercepted by Grakovic.
There's no one there in the slot for the Sirens. It was just Grakovic there waiting for it.
Prosick gloved it down, skates it into the neutral zone. Watched there by the Siren and separated by the puck. Rama will go into the corner, try to center it, and it was Green who wasn't able to get a shot on in front there for the Ducks. So a much better third period so far, just over 5 minutes in. The Ducks with plenty of pressure, but still yet to find the back of the net.
16 shots so far onto the goaltender there in Wellard, who's been pretty good at keeping them out.
So after 8 shots in 2 periods, they've had 8 already here in the third. Lang for the Siren, curls away from Green and makes a nice move, beats 3 defenders, and here she comes. The Canadian with a shot, and that goes high and wide. Schmitz gets there for the Siren, takes it behind the net, curls, look to center it for Newmark. It bounced off the stick of the Duck defender, and the puck comes out into the neutral zone. The Siren had that intercepted there by Nelson. It's the loose puck picked up by Cashin. She's forced back as Green goes to Ryland, who now finds Hollier. She chips that forward for Nelson, who had that knocked off her stick by the Sirens captain. Payne on hat-trick watch, 2 already in this game, had the puck knocked off her stick. Edney sustains the pressure. Parrington can't get it away from Guttormson, and Sarah Edney now activates. Puck stolen by Parrington, it's a 3-on-2. Carson winds, misses the net. Grakovic with a shot, blocked there by Arps. And Payne now able to get it across. Guttormson 3 wide here for the Siren. Guttormson on the backhand. Walks in front, takes a shot, and another save there by Gargano. As the Sirens import tried to take it outside, inside shelf.
Amelia Stringer there did a pretty good job there of just forcing Guttormson wide as well. In the end.
See this on the CCM all-out replay, right? Great job, just hoping that Gargano was going to cheat a little bit with Edney going to the net, but Gargano stayed tall and made the save. Mayer shovels it, gets it to Prosick. Stopped by Herink, who's had an outstanding game for the Sirens so far. Great skater and has been a big stop here. York comes in, tied up by Grakovic, and that's a goal-saving play as York was about to make the power move and bring it to the forehand and open it into the back of the net.
This is going to give the Sydney Siren a power play, and it's unfortunately for the Ducks, it is on Grakovic, who had to do it. Professional foul there, but at the same time, it's good timing for the Sirens. Been a bit of pressure from the Ducks over the last couple of minutes. They're on their toes.
So the Sydney
Sirens have a chance to go up.
The Sydney Siren, who've looked great on the power play, are going to be going up against the Ducks, who will have one of their better defenders in the box. It's Newmark here on the wall. Sends it down to Edney. Head up, gets it back to Newmark. Plays catch with Edney. The captain walks the line. Winds, gets it deep. It's Guttormson looking to center it, blocked by Gallagher, who takes a tumble. Guttormson to Lang, leaves it to Edney. Gets it back to Lang. Winds, cross pass, and just off the skate of Guttormson as she had a gaping net to shoot at.
It was a bit of a tumbling muffin, though. She wasn't going to get it unless she was a bit lucky.
Walking out, takes a shot, rebounds high, and knocked down in front of the net was McConey, and the Ducks are going to get another penalty, and this time it's going to go to...
I think it's Newman who will be escorted from the net, from the rink. No?
No, it's going to go to Briar Johnson. So another defender for the Ducks going to the box, and we're going to see the first 5-on-3 here for the Sydney Sirens.
So it'll be for 1 minute and 22 seconds of 5-on-3, and then another 40 seconds of 5-on-4 penalty kill. Watch for the Ducks to set up a triangle defence here and just try and make sure that they can keep that area in front of the net free. But Edney would be absolutely salivating over this one.
Both Edney and Lang with bombs from the point. This is going to be a hard opportunity here for the Ducks to defend. Parrington, though, is there. It's going to come back to Lang, who's going to wind, get it down for Edney. Edney, head up, back to Lang. Lang walks, winds, Edney shot, scores! Just like that, Lang and Edney playing catch, and the puck's in the back of the net for a power play goal here midway through the third.
Not what the Ducks would have wanted by any stretch, but good play there by the Sirens to set it up. They were patient. They didn't rush it. And they just waited until the right opportunity came. When you're on 5-on-3, there's not a lot you can do except try and keep people out of that high percentage area in front of the net. And that's what the Ducks are doing reasonably well. But you still give away a shot, and the goalie is always going to be tested on a 5-on-3 penalty kill. Still with 5-on-4 now, though. It doesn't wipe off both penalties. So
with that...
Brad Johnson will be sitting for another 1 minute and 43 seconds.
With that goal, Sarah Edney gets her 7th point of the season, league leading in both goals and assists. The Ducks, as you said, still have work to do here, though, and it's intercepted by Carson, who sends that down the length of the ice.
Ducks with a conservative penalty kill at the moment. Looks like they're setting up a 1-3 check through the neutral zone.
So the Ducks started off the third quite strong, got into a little bit of penalty trouble, and you knew it was only a matter of time, if given the opportunity, that the Siren were able to score on the power play. Looking here to extend the lead. They're up 5-0 here midway through the third. It's York with the puck. She takes it in. Watched by Hollier, who knocks that off her stick. Tied up, and she's able to clear that all the way down the length of the ice and chew off some important time on the penalty.
45 seconds to go on the penalty on Brad Johnson.
Arps behind the net being watched by Rama. It's now with Mayer. She's got Schmitz to her left, decides to take it herself. Great poke check by the Kiwi Hollier. It comes back to the point. Lang winds and was looking for Brunt, but missed her and able to collect her own rebound. Lang Miscues that with York and forced to regroup in the neutral zone. She'll backhand that over to Schmitz. Sending that up to Brunt. She'll wind. Take a shot off the helmet there of Lang or Gargano. And York picks up the rebound. 5 seconds remaining now, and the puck clears into the neutral zone, and Johnson's back out on the ice as the Ducks kill the second of that penalty and look now to gain some offensive pressure. Rowe, watched there by Cashin. Intercepted here by Nelson, who'll skate forward, but Green was stuck in the offensive zone, and we have an offside.
As just a thing to pick up on there too, when Brian Johnson came on and sprinted straight across to get a change, unfortunately the puck pretty much arrived at the penalty box door just after she left it. It's one of those what ifs, but a bit of an opportunity lost there from the desperation to get a change instead of integrating into the game. Shot fired.
That missed the net by Edney. She's on a hat trick watch again tonight. After 3 goals yesterday, she has 2 so far this afternoon. Nelson gets that in the slot, had it stolen by Lang, who again, up with an apple on that power play, is up to 5 assists so far in this early season. Stringer looked to center that for Carson. She just dropped that well for Parrington. It was shoveled forward, and Stringer activated to stop the offensive opportunity for the Siren. Lang up for Edney, comes forward, winds, takes a shot and scores! The captain does it again. She scores back-to-back hat tricks to start the season, and the Sirens are up 6-0 here in the third period.
And we'll see this one on the replay. It was a beautiful shot from the high slot. If you have to pick somewhere to take a shot from, that's where you want it from. Unfortunately, the Ducks just let her get across there. Not quite enough pressure on her, and you give Sarah Edney that much room, and she is absolutely going to make you pay. 6 goals now, the lead to the Sirens with 8 minutes and 36 seconds to play in the third and final period of this game between the two.
And Sarah Edney puts up another 4 points this afternoon, up to 8 points so far this season. League leader in that regard so far. Puck sent deep. It's Gallagher now for the Ducks, who just runs into the official. That allows Herring to pick it up, and she tried to center that for McConey, but the Ducks were able to intercept it, and here comes Julia Tran. Just mishandled that one, and that's going to allow the Siren to exit the zone, and Briar Johnson ties up her opponent, and that's going to allow Gallagher, her teammate, to pick it up for the Ducks. Tran knocked off the puck. Puck high, McConey shovels that, it comes loose, Herring activates, pushing that forward for Newmark. Puck sent back behind the Ducks net, and Johnson able to clear that up on the wall. Ducks tied up, it's centered, and Gallagher intercepted that one, and now Johnson will get the puck out of the zone and does the smart thing just to try to buy some time for her teammates to change. Herrick has some space. She'll take it and skate it in herself. She'll drop it for Newmark. Will wind up, take a clapper, and a great block and arm save there by Gargano. Puck centered again, another kick save, and a beauty. Gargano's down, but the puck is loose, and finally Hollier able to pick up that and skate the puck out of the zone there for the Ducks. She kicks it over to Rama, who mishandled that. Hollier picks up the loose puck, gets it over to Newman, and Arp's able to mop up there for the Siren and stop the opportunity there for the Ducks.
Just over 6.5 minutes to play, and we've got a whistle.
What a play here in the Ducks zone. A couple grade A scoring opportunities. Gargano with 3 big saves, and Hollier finally picked up the loose puck and sent the Ducks the other way.
As the game draws into the last 6 or so minutes, can the Ducks get one and set the house here on fire? The crowd will be very happy. It's a pretty strong crowd here at IceHQ. You come down here to support the Ducks in their first series.
Yeah, the rumor around, I know I went to go try to buy some merchandise. It was all already sold out. So shows the love of the sport here for those Ducks fans.
They were just hiding it from you.
I want one of those pins. Here we are. So the Sirens have the puck behind the net, and watch there by the forecheck here are the Ducks, and Green wins that, centers it, and it was intercepted, and the puck's now loose in the slot. A rebound. They shot, and a great save by Wellard. Probably her best of the game so far. Yates centers it. No one there, though, and Arps, the national team defender, able to steal that for the Sirens and get that forward over to York. York makes a move. Dixon clears that over to Hollier, and she'll now skate that out of the corner. She's got Nelson calling for it, and just out of her reach, and stops skating, which means the icing.
And Nelson there was beautifully positioned. It was a pretty high-risk pass, but at this stage of the game, you're going to take those risks. Great big long stretch pass to a player on the other side, racing up to the blue line in Nelson, but she couldn't quite get onto it. There was nothing but ice in front of her, so she had all the room. A great chance if they could have got it, but it wasn't quite going to go. You've got to take those risks.
So face-off won here by the Sirens. It's Payne, who's also on hat-trick watch, trying to get that back to Rowe, and the chase is on. Green, who's be a bit tired after the icing, not able to get there first, and Rowe will clear that. And Gatormson hit her stick, and she'll just leave it as it will be offside, and it's still offside as her teammate hasn't tagged up. Edney leaves it and just steals that off the stick of Grikovic.
Rowe was caught offside there for quite a while, but unfortunately the Ducks all got tangled up with themselves.
So Lang now enters the zone, leaves it to Gatormson, who will wind, take a shot, and miss the net. Lang tumbles, a rebound shot by Edney, saved by Gargano. And Gatormson now has it on the near side wall. She'll take it back to the point, center it for Lang, who will wind, take a shot, and miss the net.
Carson leaving the ice. Looks like she may have hurt an ankle. She might have blocked one of those shots.
Yeah, Lang with a big shot, or Gatormson with a big shot, found Carson, and she looks like she's in a bit of pain. Speaking of which, Payne centers that deep, and she's also on hat-trick watch. 2 goals this afternoon, looking to join Edney. Edney centering it for Payne, intercepted there by Nelson, who shovels it over to Tran. Tran knocked down by Mayer. No penalty. And the Sirens able to corral it in their own zone. Edney off the wall, goes for a change, intercepted by Gallagher. She's pushed off the puck by Schmidt. And Rama will now dump the puck deep. Prosick, first forechecker in for the Ducks. Looks to steal the puck off Mayer. She's pinned there. Tran has her pocket picked by Newmark, who will go cross ice to Schmitz. Johnson pinches, knocks Schmitz off the puck, but Herink activates from the point and able to push the Ducks deeper into their zone. Newmark waits for McConey to tag up, elects to pass it over to her and just out of her reach, and the Ducks will regroup in their own zone. Gallagher tried to spin away from McConey. Johnston got it up to Newman. Newman with speed in the neutral zone, beats one, beats another, but was tied up by Schmitz. The Siren up here 6-0 with just over 3 minutes remaining. Enter the offensive zone, but had the puck stolen by Hollier. Here she comes with speed. Hollier through the neutral zone, only one to beat. Takes it wide. Looks to power move on the backhand, centered shot. Save Welland, and she's down and able to cover up as the Ducks come close here late in the third.
We'll see on the top-down replay if we get it. There was a nice juicy rebound there floating in the front. Forced wide, not wide, quite well by the Sirens defence, but there's that loose one just bobbling around, and then the camera cut away on us. But,
Green had the puck pop right onto her stick and wasn't able to elevate it, and Wellard with the great right pad sealed on the ice made the save. Cashin now ties up her opponent in the corner. There's 4 players there battling for the puck. Nelson comes in to support her Ducks teammate, but it's Arps who wins it out for the Siren. They're 3 wide, it's a 3-on-2. Arps not able to get it past Ryland, and she was able just to get enough to exit the zone, and there's offside here as the face-off will come right in front of the 2 of us.
It certainly will. Right here beside the game we are. So
you can see we can wave. Hi.
Best seats in the house we have here to watch the game, apart from being on it, of course. 2.5 minutes to play in the game. Can the Ducks get one?
So here's Dixon, who got it over to the captain, Parrington. She enters the zone just over the blue line. She is being watched by Brunt and just forced her to send that back, and it was stolen, and here come the Siren. It's Caruso. Wines, shoots, and Gargano gobbles that up high on the top of her crease.
Vukovic did a good job of shutting that down. It was a 2-on-1, and she saw the pass had been made and then forced the shot early. Good distance management there by Vukovic.
So far, Gargano, she's having a great player.
So too, Willard with 19, Gossie. She's done pretty well. She's managed to keep all of them out. There's been a few mad scrambles in front of the net, but Willard has done very well indeed for the Sydney Sirens today. She has been tested.
So that was referee Rob Love just forcing the Sirens to stop that change as they were too late to get their players onto the ice. Nelson now, who's looked dangerous here in the third period, trying to get some offensive zone pressure. Puck pinned on the wall now, looking to center. Prosick goes behind the net. It's still with Parrington, watched by 3 Sirens players, and eventually able to get it to her teammate. Prosick now behind the net, watched by Herink, gets it to Parrington, who pushes the Siren player off the point, and the Siren do exit the zone, and a great back check there by the captain, Parrington. You can see still so great here after such an illustrious career playing ice hockey here in Australia.
She does the wise thing, dumps in and try and get a change. She's been out for a long time and worked very hard on that back check to get some sustained pressure on the Sirens. Done a much better job this period.
Rowe in the offense, in the defensive zone, gets it up there for Payne, who is looking for Guttormson. The big line out here for Sydney in the final minute, 6-0. Weller looking to match her teammate Likari, who got a shutout yesterday. Is she able to keep the goose egg? 44 seconds. It's Johnston in the defensive zone for the Ducks. Johnson chicken wing that stick, much to the dismay of Guttormson, will pick it up. It's Arps who activates. She keeps it there. Edney goes down, and Johnson's going to go for a penalty as she laid the body there late on
Arps, by the look of it.
On Arps, who was not happy with that.
Not happy at all. Wanted to continue to remonstrate, but Johnson getting 2 for
Rob Love giving the Sydney Sirens another penalty as well, and you can hear the 2 girls jawing one another here in the penalty box. So Sarah Edney just having a chat with the official, trying to understand why there's the coincidentals there, as Johnson's going 2 minutes for interference, and Arps will be getting 2 minutes for cross-checking.
So it'll be 4-on-4, I think, for the last 27.5 seconds. We'll wait to see if the referees, yep, it's 4-on-4. That opens up a little bit of extra space. Can the Ducks use that to just get 1 in the net? There's been 19 shots so far on Willard as the scorer sees it. We're going to get a face-off in the defensive zone for the Ducks. The first penalty there was given to...
The Sydney Sirens bench are quite frustrated. They don't understand why their player has a penalty, but I can tell you what, you can say whatever you want to the official, they're not going to change their mind.
There's never been an occasion where arguing with the referees made a difference.
So here we are, defensive zone face-off for the Ducks. It's 1 here, and Rama will exit the zone. Final minute, 22 seconds remaining. It's last chance saloon if the Ducks are going to find the back of the net in the first weekend of their inaugurational season.
10 seconds. Siren with the puck now. All they need to do is shut it down to keep the shutout. The Ducks running out of time to score it.
Exit, Kukovic sends it deep. The play is offside, and that will be it. So at the end of the 3, it's 6 to the Siren, nothing for the Ducks, as the Sirens win back-to-back games to start the season.
So a good start for the Sydney Sirens. They came down here to Melbourne on a mission, and they've achieved it. A 9-0 win and then a 6-0 win. 2 shutouts for the goaltenders, Likari and Willard. Ducks' second game much improved over their first one. I think you'd agree, Gossie. They were much more intense. There's still a few times they got caught waiting for the puck instead of going and getting it, but certainly they adjusted to the tempo. Game one, you'd have to say they were a bit shell-shocked, but game two, a much better performance by them. Shots on the net for the Sirens, 40 on to Olivia Gargano, who did a great job in the net. Her first exposure at national level for Olivia Gargano, so very pleased with her performance. But so too Wellard in the net for the Sirens. She was tested. 19 shots on the net for the Ducks is pretty good. In most leagues, that'd be what you'd expect to see throughout an entire game. So pretty good effort for her to keep them all out. Some of them were pretty good shots too, and a lot of mad scrambles in front of the net. Ducks did a better job on the discipline today. Just the 3 penalties, I think it was in the end. Much better than yesterday, where they gave away almost an entire period in the penalty box, and you just can't afford to do that. Gossie, any other thoughts from you?
Another big game by Edney, another hat trick. So that's 6 goals so far this season, leading the league, and 8 points. I think it's always great with the way the schedule works, where you play the back-to-back games, that late little bit of drama at the end. You wonder if that carries over to the next time they play in Sydney. Only time will tell.
That'll be a ding-dong battle for a whole heap of reasons, but it's certainly an interesting game, and I think the Ducks had to adapt to the level of physicality at playing at this level as well. A few of them have obviously played here, but for a lot of them, this has been the first one that was a genuine game at national level. And it showed in the first game, but they responded in the second and picked up the tempo and did a lot better. We will be back with you here at IceHQ for round 2 next week, when the Adelaide Rush will be touring Melbourne. And we'll be playing game 1 on Saturday the 16th at 5:45 p.m. and then game 2 on Sunday the 16th at 4:15. You can watch it on the stream, of course, but the best way to see it is to be here at IceHQ. We'll put on a good show for you. The cafe is great. There's terrific food. And it's not just dim sims and hot dogs. Got pretty good tucker here and a good bar where you can watch the game from upstairs as well. So come along and watch the Melbourne Ducks in their second game. Thank you very much for everyone from Sydney for coming down and also for tuning into the stream. We hope we've kept you entertained and informed with regards to the game. Your girls did you proud. A great effort from them in particular. As we mentioned, Sarah Edney was superb. But I think for mine, Bella Ma was an absolutely superb player for the Sirens in defence. She was superb. So we've had a great time here as well. Thank you very much for being with us. And we'll be back for round 2 next week. Bring it on.